A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a critical moment for European solidarity and support for Ukraine, Belgium has raised significant concerns regarding the European Union's plan to utilize billions of euros in frozen Russian assets to finance Ukraine's defense and recovery efforts. The discussion comes as EU leaders prepare for a summit in Brussels, where they are expected to deliberate on a proposal that aims to secure a loan of approximately €140 billion over the next 3 years for Ukraine, using the immobilized assets of the Russian central bank as collateral. This plan, however, is not without its complications and legal implications. The assets in question primarily consist of Russian state funds that were frozen following the invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. With about two-thirds of the estimated €290 billion in Russian assets located in the West being held at Euroclear in Brussels, Belgium finds itself at the center of an increasingly contentious debate. Belgian Prime Minister Bart De Wever has voiced his apprehensions, stating that the country could be left to shoulder the financial burden should Russia demand its funds back after sanctions are lifted. De Wever emphasized the need for collective action among EU nations, warning that unilateral decisions could expose Belgium to retaliation from Russia. "If we want to give them to Ukraine, we have to do it all together," he said, highlighting the potential repercussions for a small country like Belgium in the event of Russian countermeasures. The EU's proposed plan is characterized as a reparation loan, a mechanism that would allow Ukraine to borrow funds against the frozen assets, with the expectation that these would be repaid once Russia compensates Ukraine for the damages caused by the ongoing conflict. However, this assumption hinges on the uncertain prospect of Russia agreeing to reparations, a point that has raised eyebrows among EU officials and legal experts alike. The legal framework surrounding the proposal is still in development, and there are significant concerns regarding the ability to keep Russian assets frozen amidst potential political shifts within the EU. Currently, the EU's sanctions against Russia require unanimous approval for renewal every 6 months, which poses a risk of premature asset release. Hungary, known for its favorable stance towards Russia, has previously delayed sanction approvals, adding to the uncertainty. Some EU lawyers believe they have identified a workaround to ensure that no member state can unilaterally veto the sanctions, but skepticism remains regarding the feasibility of this approach. As the summit approaches, the EU leaders are expected to back the idea of utilizing frozen Russian assets for Ukraine, but without committing to a specific financial amount. The legal intricacies and the need for a robust agreement on the details of the proposal remain paramount. EU officials have expressed optimism that a legal text could be finalized by the end of the year, which would allow for the disbursement of funds to Ukraine by April 2026, just as the country is projected to face a financial crunch. The situation is further complicated by the fact that the US has curtailed military aid to Ukraine, with the Biden administration's support dwindling since Donald Trump's return to political prominence. European nations are now confronted with the daunting task of filling the financial gap left by the US, which is estimated to require a collective expenditure of €82 billion annually to sustain Ukraine's defense efforts. Meanwhile, the projected cost of rebuilding Ukraine post-war stands at a staggering $524 billion, a figure that underscores the long-term financial implications of the conflict. As the EU navigates this complex landscape, the stakes are high not only for Ukraine, but also for the cohesion and unity of the European Union itself. The decisions made in the coming weeks will undoubtedly shape the future of European support for Ukraine and the broader geopolitical landscape in the face of Russian aggression. The situation remains fluid, and all eyes will be on the outcomes of the summit in Brussels as EU leaders seek to find a path forward amidst the challenges posed by Belgium's concerns and the overarching need to support Ukraine's defense and recovery. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.